Good morning and welcome to the June meeting of the Council of the Municipality of the County of Annapolis. In 1758 and in 1759, Governor Lawrence issued an invitation on behalf of the British government to the inhabitants of the eastern United States, as they were at that time, to come to Nova Scotia and be given great grants of land and other advantages. And as we know, thousands of people from that area came to Nova Scotia at that time. And on June 25th, 1760, a ship called the Charming Molly came into Annapolis Royal from Boston, bringing with it some of our first settlers, those who were known as the New England planters in Annapolis County. They had agricultural practices, they established farms, and they built communities. And they also brought their cultural and social traditions. They also brought their system of government, which was not the system that was subsequently adopted in Nova Scotia. And there are still descendants of these folks here, and many of these names you will find familiar: Whitman, Rice, Spur, Moore, Clark, and of course Bent. And I don't, at least when I was growing up, I thought that in a way a man and a woman came from somewhere to the land that was called later Nova Scotia. And that's how all our population grew. And I know we used to talk about the Boston States when a lot of our people went over there. But not until the last few years have I realized the extent of the immigration that came from the eastern states in the 1760s and 70s. We'll begin with roll call, please, starting with District 1.
Bruce Prout.
District 2, Brian Hall.
District 3, Dustin Enslow.
District 4, Clyde Bartow.
District 5, Lynn Longmire.
District 6, Alec Morrison.
District 7, David Hudson.
District 8, Michael Gunn.
District 9, Wendy Sheridan.
District 10, Fred Redden.
District 11, Diane Liga.
Thank you. Are there disclosures of interest? Councillor Enslow.
Thank you. I have an interest in the topic around community policing as a employee of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
Thank you. Approval of municipal council minutes. February 21st, 2023. Thank you. Minutes of municipal council of the 16th of May. Thank you. We'll now move to page 14. And I would like to think that if you made the motion in committee of the whole, you might wish to make it here in council. So I will just go down these ad seriatim. So we're on page 14, Climate Change Action Plan Review Committee Policy New. I think that would be Councillor Bartow.
Could be. Move that municipal council approve AM-1.3.6.18 Climate Change Action Plan Review Committee Policy in accordance with the 7-day notice given on June 13th, 2023.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor LeBlanc. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Adopted. Brooklyn sewer and water connection charges.
I move.
Counselor Connell.
I move that municipal council give first reading of their intention to adopt M14 bylaw to repeal bylaw M13 respecting Brooklyn Street sewer and water connection charges.
Thank you. Seconded by Counselor Sheridan. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Adopted. Nova Scotia Public Works cost sharing agreement for paving of J-class streets. Councillor Prout, please.
I move that the municipal council authorize the warden and clerk to sign Nova Scotia Public Works cost share agreement number 2023-001 for the paving of subdivision J-class streets.
Thank you. Seconded by Deputy Warden. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Bear River Water System Project. Councillor Gunn, please.
Thank you. I move that municipal council support the submission of an application to the Provincial Capital Assistance Program, PCAP, in the amount of $205,000 for the detailed design phase regarding the Bear River Water System Project.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor LeBlanc. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Carried.
I did the other one as well.
Please.
That I move that municipal council support the submission of an application to the Provincial Capital Assistance Program, PCAP, in the amount of $28,500 for the detailed design phase regarding the Granville Ferry Water Storage Project.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Bartow. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Bridgetown Regional Consolidated School Trust Award and Scholarships Award. Councillor Hudson, please.
I move that municipal council authorize payment from the Bridgetown School Trust to the Bridgetown Regional Community School in the amount of $5,365 and authorize payment up to $2,800 for scholarships, awards, recipients upon attendance at post-secondary education.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Enslow. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Thank you. Opposed? Motion carried. Town of Middleton Source Water Protection Advisory Committee.
I'll move that.
Councillor LeBlanc.
I move that municipal council appoint Councillor Wendy Sheridan to be a member of the Town of Middleton Source Water Protection Advisory Committee, effective immediately for a term ending November 30th, 2024, per the terms and conditions stated on the Town of Middleton Committee terms of reference, and add this committee to the list of required appointments reviewed by the nominating committee.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Hudson. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Passed. Thank you. Call tender to demolish a dangerous structure in Port George. Deputy Warden, please.
I move that municipal council authorize the administration under dangerous and unsightly premises to call a tender to demolish the dilapidated outbuilding, remove the demolition debris, and level the land to make it safe at Civic 12285 Shore Road East, Port George, PID 05039268, AAN 04913892.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Longmire. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Opposed, 1. Motion carried. Page 15, municipally registered heritage property. Would that be Councillor Bartow?
Could be.
Top of page 15.
I move that municipal council amend the previous motion, motion 230516.08, MRHT, St. John Anglican Church, application for alteration that municipal council allow the replacement of the existing light green asphalt shingles to copper green color metal roofing material for the the registered heritage property, St. John's Anglican Church in Columbarium at 694 Highway 201, Rochelle, to advise the contractor of the heritage status of the building by replacing copper green with black for the St. John's Anglican Church, 694 Highway 201, Rochelle, application for reconsideration.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Connell. Discussion, please. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Red Bear Healing Home Society. Deputy Warden.
I move the municipal council approve a grant to the Red Bear Healing Home Society in the amount of $1,000 to support free voicemail services in accordance with the AM-1.4.9 Community Grants Policy Community Program Assistance Fund.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Blanc. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? One opposed. Motion carried. Ernest Buckler Literary Event Society. Councillor Prout, please.
I move that municipal council approve a grant to the Ernest Buckler Literary Event Society in the amount of $1,000 to support their Reading Where We Live event in accordance with AM 1.4.9 Community Grants Policy, Community Programs Assistance Fund.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Longmire. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Annapolis Region Community Arts Council. Deputy Warden, please.
I move that municipal council approve a grant to the Annapolis Region Community Arts Council in the amount of $2,000 to support their event showcasing artworks of Harold Cromwell in accordance with the AM-1.4.9 Community Grants Policy, Community Programs Assistance Fund.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Connell. Thank you. Discussion. Councillor Connell.
It was very strange that the auction at the Byzantine's auction yard had two prints of Harold Cromwell in their auction last week. So it was came up and I was reading what was in the auction and then just
Yeah, I know him.
it was nice to know who the artist was.
Thank you. Did we vote?
No.
No. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Carried. Valley Duelists, Kings County Resource Center. Councillor Prout, please.
I move that municipal council approve a grant to the Valley Duelists Kings County Resource Center in the amount of $2,000 to support prenatal education and postpartum support programs in accordance with AM-1.4.9 Community Grants Policy, Community Programs Assistance Fund.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Enzo. Discussion. Councillor Gunn.
Thank you very much. And why are we picking up, this used to be done by Department of Health, the prenatal classes, and we're picking that up now because they don't fund that anymore, is that right?
They actually do participate in the program. This is just further assistance. So
This is just further assistance?
Further assistance
Okay.
to the programs. And they connect directly through our family matters in Lawrencetown. It's just that the Valley is their parent organization. But they do directly connect through our Family Matters organization to the families that need them in accordance with the nurses and doctors.
Thank you. Further discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Annapolis Valley Farm to School Committee. Councillor Enzo, please.
I move that Municipal Council approve a grant to the Annapolis Valley Farm to School Committee in the amount of $2,000 to support the Farm to School Snack Program in accordance with AM-1.4.9, Community Grants Policy, Community Programs Assistance Fund.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor LeBlanc. Discussion, please. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Annapolis Royal Football Club. Deputy Warden.
I move that Municipal Council approve a grant to the Annapolis Royal Football Club in the amount of $1,500 to support the purchase of a new lawnmower in accordance with AM-1.4.9, Community Grants Policy, Community Programs Assistance Fund.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Longmire. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? One. Motion adopted. Page 16. Southwest Nova Biosphere Association. Councillor Gunn, please.
Thank you. I move that Municipal Council approve a grant to the Southwest Nova Biosphere Association in the amount of $2,500 to support the creation of the first amazing place in the Southwest Nova Scotia at DeLaps Cove in accordance with AM-1.4.9 Community Grants Policy, Marketing and Promotion Partnership Program.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Sheridan. Discussion, please. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Clean Annapolis River Project Society. Councillor LeBlanc.
I move that Municipal Council approve a grant to the Clean Annapolis River Project Society in the amount of $5,000 to support marketing costs for the Annapolis River Festival in accordance with AM 1.4.9 Community Grants Policy, Marketing and Promotion Partnership Program.
Thank you. Councillor Enslow, seconding. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Lawrencetown and District Lions Club. Deputy Warden.
I move that Municipal Council approve a grant to the Lawrencetown and District Lions Club in the amount of $5,000 to support marketing costs for the Port George Jamboree in accordance with AM-1.4.9 Community Grants Policy, Marketing and Promotions Partnership Program.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Connell. Discussion, please. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Hampton Lighthouse and Historical Society. Councillor Enslow, please.
I move that Municipal Council approve a grant to the Hampton Lighthouse and Historical Society in the amount of $1,200 to support the cost of a portable toilet for the tourist season in accordance with AM-1.4.9 Community Grants Policy, Marketing and Promotion Partnership Program.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Hudson. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Heart of the Valley Festival.
Did you do that?
Go ahead.
Councillor Sheridan, please.
I move that Municipal Council approve a grant to the Heart of the Valley Festival in the amount of $3,000 to support the Heavy Events Clinic during the festival in accordance with AM-1.4.9 Community Grants Policy, Marketing and Promotion Partnership Program.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor LeBlanc. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Bridgetown and Area Chamber of Commerce. Councillor Hudson.
Thank you. I move that Municipal Council approve a grant to the Bridgetown and Area Chamber of Commerce in the amount of $5,000 to support marketing costs for the annual Cider Fest celebrations in accordance with AM-1.4.9 Community Grants Policy, Marketing and Promotion Partnership Program.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Enslow. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Farm to Feast Cafe. Deputy Warden.
I move that municipal council approve a grant to the Farm to Peace Cafe in the amount of $5,000 to support costs for the greenhouse project at the NSCC Annapolis campus in accordance with AM-1.4.9 Community Grants Policy, Capital Projects Assistance Program, Small Project Matching Grant.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Connell. Discussion, please. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Page 17, Port Royal Lighthouse Association. Councillor Longmire, please.
I move that municipal council approve a grant to the Port Royal Lighthouse Association in the amount of $5,000 to support costs for the ongoing restoration and upgrades to the lighthouse at Schaffner Point in accordance with AM-1.9.4.9 Community Grants Policy, Capital Projects Assistance Program, Small Project Matching Grant.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Enslow. Discussion, please. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Unanimous. Bridgetown Curling Club. Councillor Enslow, please.
I move that municipal council approve a grant to the Bridgetown Curling Club in the amount of $3,931.44 to support the purchase of a new ice compressor in accordance with AM-1.4.9 Community Grants Policy, Capital Projects Assistance Program, Small Project Matching Grant.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Bartow. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Paradise Historical Society. Councillor Hudson.
I move that municipal council approve a grant to the Paradise Historical Society in the amount of $4,626.45 to support the installation of gutters and floor repairs for the Paradise School in accordance with AM-1.4.9 Community Grants Policy, Capital Projects Assistance Program, Small Project Matching Grants.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Enslow. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Middleton and District Rink Commission. Councillor LeBlanc, please.
I move that municipal council approve a grant to the Middleton and District Rink Commission in the amount of $2,771.92 to support arena repairs and upgrades in accordance with the AM 1.4.9 Community Grants Policy, Capital Projects Assistance Program, Small Project Matching Grant.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Sheridan. Discussion, please. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Carried. Soldiers Memorial Hospital Foundation.
You missed one.
One
You missed.
above that.
Age Advantage Association.
We should miss that one.
That's the job part.
Okay, who wants to do that? Councillor LeBlanc, please.
That municipal council approve a grant to the Age Advantage Association in the amount of $5,000 to support the development of new content with the MAP Annapolis project in accordance with the AM 1.4.9 Community Grants Policy, Capital Projects Assistance Program, Small Projects Matching Grant.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Connell. Discussion, please. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Soldiers Memorial Hospital Foundation. Councillor Sheridan, please.
I move that municipal council approve a grant to the Soldiers Memorial Hospital Foundation in the amount of $10,000, year 4 of 5, as a contribution towards health care facilities in accordance with AM-1.4.9 Community Grants Policy, large capital grant.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor LeBlanc. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. St. Anne's Anglican Youth Camp. Councillor Bartow, please.
I move that municipal council approve a grant to the St. Anne's Anglican Youth Camp in the amount of $5,000 to support costs with roof and floor repairs to the called-out building in accordance with AM-1.4.9 Municipal Grants Policy, Large Capital Grant.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Hudson. Discussion. Thank you. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Lawrencetown Exhibition Youth Arena. Deputy Warden, please.
I move that municipal council approve a grant to the Lawrencetown Exhibition Youth Arena in the amount of $10,900 to support costs for the Warmingham extension in accordance with AM-1.4.9 Community Grants Policy, large capital grant.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor LeBlanc. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Page 18. I would point out that this is page 18 of 35. The grant stopped before page 35. Margarettsville Shore Society. Councillor Connell, please.
I move that municipal council approve a grant to the Margarettsville Shore Society in the amount of $25,000 to support their shoreline renewal and safety project in accordance with AM-1.4.9 Community Grants Policy, large capital grant.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Enslow. Discussion. Councillor Gunn.
Thank you so much. Is this like a one-time grant from that, or can they come back year after year, after year, after year for that $25,000?
Each organization, in accordance with your policy, is allowed to put in an application every year. However, if it's for the same project, they can't come back. I think the policy says 3 years in a row.
Thank you.
But they can apply every year if it's for a different project.
Thank you. Further discussion? All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Annapolis Valley Exhibition Society, Deputy Warden, please.
I move that municipal council approve a grant to the Annapolis Valley Exhibition Society in the amount of $20,000 to support the 2023 capital upgrades and improvements in accordance with AM-1.4.9 Community Grants Policy, large capital grant.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Connell. Discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Trans-County Transportation Society, Councillor Prout, please.
Thank you. I move that municipal council approve a grant to the Trans-County Transportation Society in the amount of $20,000 to support transit operational costs in accordance with AM-1.4.9 Community Grants Policy, large capital grant.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor LeBlanc. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Cats for Keeps Rescue Society. Councillor LeBlanc, please.
I move that municipal council approve a grant to the Cats for Keeps Rescue Society in the amount of $7,000 to support operational costs for their rescue services in accordance with AM 1.4.9 Community Grants Policy, large capital grant.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Longmire. Discussion, please. Councillor Gunn.
Thank you so much. I won't be voting for this same as last time because I feel this is just leading us down another path that we've been before, and it's just costing the county a lot of money to look at, for people to not look after their animals. Thank you.
Thank you. Further discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed?
Right here.
1. Motion carried. Three Rivers Community Association. Councillor LeBlanc, please.
I move that municipal council approve a grant to the Three Rivers Community Association in the amount of $2,400 to support the installation of a generator in accordance with the AM 1.4.9 Community Grants Policy, Community Halls and Centers Assistance Program.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Sheridan. Discussion, please. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Moshel Community Hall Society. Councillor Bartow, please.
I move that municipal council approve grant to the Moshel Community Hall Society in the amount of $2,250 to support the replacement of the deck and ramp in accordance with AM-1.4.9 Community Grants Policy, Community Halls and Centers Assistance Program.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Connell. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. West Paradise Community Club. Councillor Hudson, please.
I move that municipal council approve a grant to the West Paradise Community Club in the amount of $1,200 to support installation of a water softener system in accordance with AM-1.4.9 Community Grants Policy, Community Halls and Centers Assistance Program.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Enslow. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Wilmot Community Center Society. Councillor Connell, please.
I move that the municipal council approve a grant to the Wellmont Community Center Society in the amount of $2,400 to support repairs and upgrades to the hall in accordance with AM-1.4.9 Community Grants Policy, Community Halls and Centers Assistance Program.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Prout. Discussion, please. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Page 19, Port Lorne Community Center Association. Councillor Enslow.
I move that municipal council approve a grant to the Port Lorne Community Center Association in the amount of $1,200 to support the shed roof replacement and other improvements to the hall in accordance with AM-1.4.9 Community Grants Policy, Community Halls and Centers Assistance Program.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor LeBlanc. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Clarence Community Club. Councillor Enslow.
I move that municipal council approve a grant to the Clarence Community Club in the amount of $2,400 to support the creation of a multi-use outdoor venue space in accordance with AM-1.4.9 Community Grants Policy, Community Halls and Centers Association or Assistance Program.
I thought maybe you were going to ask for more.
I almost did. I was going to say 5,000.
Seconded
I
by,
hope you would.
seconded by Councillor LeBlanc. Discussion, please. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Friends of the Annapolis Pool Society. Deputy Warden, please.
I move that municipal council approve a grant to the Friends of the Annapolis Pool Society in the amount of $16,500 to support their capacity building expansion and operating hours, and support training in accordance with AM-1.4.9 Community Grants Policy, Organizational Restructuring and Planning Grant.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Longmire. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. South Shore Annapolis Valley Trail Association. Deputy Warden.
I move that municipal council approve a grant to the South Shore Annapolis Valley Trail Association in the amount of $5,000 to support trail maintenance and upgrades for Annapolis County sections of the trail in accordance with AM-1.4.9 Community Grants Policy, Trails Assistance Program.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Connell. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Carried. Deputy Warden, please.
I move that municipal council approve a grant to the Annapolis County Trail Society in the amount of $5,000 to support the continued improvements to the Harvest Moon Trail Annapolis County sections in accordance with AM-1.4.9 Community Grants Policy Trails Assistance Program.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Sheridan. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Annapolis Valley Trails Coalition. Deputy Warden, please.
I move that municipal council approve a grant to the Annapolis Valley Trails Coalition in the amount of $5,000 to support trail and park developments in Annapolis County in accordance with AM-1.4.9 Community Grants Policy Trails Assistance Program.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Prout. Thank you. Discussion.
Yes.
Councillor Connell.
I'd like to say that I appreciate all three trail societies that work within our county. it's a form of recreation for some citizens. I know that a lot of it's motorized, but a lot of times the senior people and people with disabilities wouldn't get around and have the opportunity to see our county the way they do through the trail system. And I really appreciate the Trails Coalition because they also help with trails and parks in our own county outside of the trails. So,
Thank you.
I think that.
Well said. Further discussion? All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Review grants policies. Councillor Connell.
I move the municipal council that staff provide a review and recommendations of the grants policies to October committee of the whole to update them to be more in line with existing costs and conditions.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Sheridan. Discussion, please. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Parks and recreational facilities. Do you want that one? Oh, sorry, Councillor Hudson.
I move that staff prepare a report on the staffing and maintenance of all parks and recreation facilities in the county for the fall of 2023 and add the identification of all recreational facilities that reside in towns and villages that our constituents use.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Connell. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Page 20. Deputy Warden, please.
I move that municipal council authorize the warden and clerk to sign a 19.5-month extension of our waste collection agreement with EFR Environmental to extend service past our agreement expiration date of August 23rd, 2023 until March 31st, 2025, enabling the municipality to have the potential to participate in a broader Valley Waste-led tender ahead of March 2025.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Gunn. Discussion. All in favor?
Question.
Oh, sorry, Councillor Ansel.
Thank you. I just want to say that I'm glad to see this getting approved and that we're finally going to get the garbage thing back on track. I'm excited to see if this goes through with the broader in 2025. I think it's going to benefit the county.
Maybe.
Thank you. Further discussion. All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carried. Now move to page 21, Warden's June update and forecast. Thank you. And we now move to page 22. Deputy Warden, please.
I move that municipal council give final reading to the M10 sewer charges bylaw by deleting .9 in subsection 2, sub 2, sub C, and replacing with 5.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Allmeyer. Discussion. All in favor?
Yes. Yep.
Opposed? Motion carried. Page 23. Deputy Warden, please.
I move that council approve an investment of $25,000 in the Basin Aquatics Association to assist with the reestablishment of the aquatics facility at Basin Center Cornwall Park. And that council authorize withdrawal of $25,000 from the Recreation Reserve to be used for this purpose.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Connell. Discussion. Councillor Longmire, followed by Councillor Ensign.
Thank you, Warden. I just would like to say that I know the initial ask was significantly more, but the last paragraph on page 2435 is really, really It's wonderfully stated, our position as council. And I do want to read it. And I know that means I'm reiterating what is already here, but I think it's important. Because the society is a new organization, it is hard to tell whether they will be able to sell the required memberships and create a sustainable business plan in the building with such a high rental rate. However, the benefits of providing increased recreation and healthy living options to the residents of the western part of Annapolis County are also important. Therefore, council should consider the investment to support the early stages of the initiative to determine whether the community is willing to also invest in this facility by directly buying memberships and using the facility, and to gain important knowledge on the true operating expenses for the facility. This support will also allow the society time to garner other government and community funding.
Thank you. In my view, well written and well read. Further discussion? Councillor Ansel.
Thank you. So I do agree with Councillor Longmire about the paragraph that she read. However, like I stated in the past, I don't know. I just have, this one puts me on the fence. And because I'm completely unsure, and I've had a lot of feedback from a lot of people in my district on this, that for the amount that is being proposed, I will not be supporting this. I will not be voting yes for this. It's just, with all the information, it just doesn't, I don't know, I just have a hard time with this one, so I'll be voting against it.
Thank you. Further discussion? All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 1. Motion carried. Thank you. Nova Scotia Federation of Municipalities Membership Survey Report, and you have a copy of it.
Is there a declaration of interest for this?
Yes.
Yes.
You're the one.
Thank you.
I didn't get it.
You didn't have one of those on the plate? Here, you can look at mine.
Oh, wait a minute. Here it is.
It's on, get back to the,
It was hiding.
The committee of myself, Councillor Blanc, and Councillor Prout, assisted by Cheryl Mason, who has all the knowledge. We spent a few hours on this, and we reached what I would call a consensus agreement, and I hope that is the spirit in which our colleagues will look at the suggestions you have in front of you. It may well be that some you disagree with, but on the whole, you would act in consensus. All right.
Sorry, sir.
Yes.
This means nothing to me other than this is what you guys filled in the survey. We don't have a copy of the survey that you filled in. This is what your answers in the survey look like. Is that what I'm getting out of this?
Yes.
Thank you.
But it was councillors who did it.
Okay. Yep.
So, number 1 and number 2, I think we can all agree with. Number 3, that's the total cost of the policing service. And to my understanding, it does not include any of the retroactive pay. So it will be higher. The Federation of Canadian Municipalities declaration met with the appropriate federal minister, and the delegation was told that the federal government would not be contributing to retroactive pay. Councillor Gunn.
Thank you so much. Do we know what that retroactive pay, have they given us an actual figure for that yet?
Not yet.
Wonderful. Thank you. They're doing their job.
Councillor Barto.
This probably not only has lack of retroactive pay, but is this based on what it was before the federal government negotiated? And do we know what the new amount, annual amount would be?
Yes and no.
Correct.
Okay. So this is
the correct amount, though.
It's the correct amount, but we don't know what the new amount will be after the retroactive date.
before the negotiation or after?
This is the full cost. So negotiations are irrelevant to us. We pay what the province bills us, and this is what the province is billing us. So this is the exact number with the exception of the retroactive pay.
Okay, thank you.
If I may, and it's just a question, just for clarity, is all I'm asking. If a municipality decided to ditch the RCMP and go with their own police force, are we still required to have RCMP presence in the county? No. So we can have our own, we could have our own police force, essentially. Thank you. That's all I wanted to know.
Asked and answered.
Pardon?
Asked and answered. You
Thank you.
asked the question and answered.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right. Councillor Longmire.
Thank you. Point 5.
No.
Oh, no, we're there.
We're on 3.
Oh, sorry. I'm racing ahead.
Yes.
I apologize.
Anytime. Page 4. Not page 4, item.
Number.
Okay. Councillor Berto.
So generally in the past, we know that, like, item 3 says 3 million. Any of this would be in excess of 3 million. So do we traditionally have those extra expenses that would be added onto the base rate?
Yeah, sure.
I can answer. We pay the $3 million as it shows. That's it. We don't pay anything extra.
That includes this other support.
All that stuff is included in that $3 million.
Okay, thank you.
Number 5. Councillor Longmire.
Thank you. B, very rarely do we have present approved number of RCMP officers available for whom we pay. It's really troubling. As I drive by RCMP detachments and I see more cars sitting in the lot, I often wonder who's patrolling. You know, it's concerning that negotiations happen around us, and numbers are approved, and we're the last person to find out what our services are. I know that the increase in thefts, even in the past month, have just grown exponentially, and very concerning, right?
Yes.
So I would want an answer to that.
And I remember one of my first council meetings, the same thing was raised, and we were told that we would pay for, I think at that time we had 12 or 13, we would pay for them, thank you very much, goodbye, in very nice language. And we all know stories of people who have been RCMP posted here from another province, but can't sell the family home in that province, and so therefore they're not obliged to move until they sell the home. Folks go on maternity and paternity leave and go on stress leave, and they're not replaced. And it's troubling that the fact that we are always deficient in number of RCMP personnel has become the norm.
Thank you.
Councillor Gunn and Councillor Hudson.
Thank you so much. And just to follow on that point, that's becoming the norm in most bureaucracies now, is that if they're becoming so expensive with what we're paying for the people that are off during that time. This follows in every bureaucracy we got, no matter whether it's RCMP, municipality, Department of Transportation, doesn't matter where. Most times we're paying for a lot of staff to be off. Now, whether it's paternity, maternity, whatever. That's kind of right across the board now. We end up paying for a lot of off time. nowadays with governments. That's all I got to say. Thank you.
Yes, and thank you. I'm obliged to say that everything you have recounted is in accordance with principles, policy, rules, and regulations.
Oh, I have no doubt about it.
Yeah.
And that's been created. Anyway, that's a whole other philosophical discussion.
Councillor Longmire, followed by Councillor Hudson. Oh, sorry, I had Councillor Hudson.
This is just, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I just wanted to point out, see, communication is lacking. I think if we're, we're paying for a service that serves all of us to keep us safe in our communities, that they have an obligation and a responsibility to communicate with us. I don't know why we're not told how deficient we are. The only way we find out how deficient we are is when there's no presence in the community, whether it be speeding, whether it be thefts. It's becoming, like you said, Warden, the new normal, and we're tolerating it. Somehow we've got to find a way to push back and not tolerate.
Yes.
Thanks.
Thank you.
My question had to do just for my own clarification. It says currently 15 members. I remember, and more likely, perhaps incorrectly, that it was 22 or some number like that.
When I joined council, I think it was 12 in 2012. And we increased by one or two in the next year by one or two. Okay, next page, number 6.
Warden?
Yes, where are we? Councillor Connor.
Well, I have an issue with B, meetings are being held regular. They're not. We haven't seen a meeting, maybe one or two meetings in the last 3 years. They never met at all during COVID. I was really disappointed when staff asked the province to send somebody down to explain to our new council. At the time we became councillors last election, and the province neglected, said no, sorry. So they didn't even have anyone to send down to explain our position on that committee and what that committee really was for. But then we receive a letter where a person wrote a letter blaming half of the incident in the northern part of our county, where a gentleman took our police force for a heck of a roll for 2 days and had killed quite a few people, blaming the county for 50% of the problem of that issue, when I've been on that advisory board for several years, and a lot of times we have no control of what the RCMP say and do. We've asked for certain things, and we still don't see it. We asked for the RCMP to be present in our communities. We still don't see it. We asked about the thefts, and when I'm hearing on the street, they don't want to put them little thieves in jail because they're informants to them. So what are they causing? They're causing the public to soon take it in their own hands, which the public has. I don't like going on Facebook and to retaliate on anything, but the amount of thieving that's going on in our county is beyond belief. And they actually got names they're putting on Facebook. If you have an issue, contact this guy and he'll get your stuff back for you. So we're putting our constituents at risk. I know that a gentleman in our county was served with a restraining order against one of them. Didn't even know the person, but was given that to that person within an hour of that person talking to him. The RCMP delivered. I know an instant where wheels were stolen off of a car in a parking lot at a grad station in Middleton. They took, 2 weeks later, the ad from Kijiji where the rims and tires were for sale to the RCMP, and has never yet heard of a voice back from the RCMP.
No.
Never heard nothing back. Never even got back to them if they went and got the rims and tires back. But yet they'll go and deliver a restraining order against a guy within an hour. Their priority is in the wrong place, because if they don't soon attend to these thieves, which it's out in the media and the social media, who they are, and it's the same ones every time. And you can go around our community and ask any of them, any people live in our community, and they're the first 2 or 3 people they go to every time something's stolen. But yet the RCMP can't do it. It's getting to be very, very sad that we're in that state. It's very sad that our constituents are having to take the law in their own hands, because likely they're the one that's going to end up with something against them versus the criminals. The drug scene is unbelievable. I think the drug scene is shoving the break-ins. But do the RCMP listen to us? I've failed to believe that.
Thank you. Could we handle first the point about the meetings? Are they or are they not being held regularly?
No.
Councillor Proud?
Thank you. As a member of the current Police Advisory Board, perhaps I would suggest we may have been remiss by not saying meetings are now being held regularly. I know that we have one coming up within the next couple of days, and I believe that will be the 4th one, at least the 4th meeting that we've held since the reconstitution of that committee in the late winter, early spring. Maybe Councillor LeBlanc can correct me if I've missed something there. We still don't have the member from the provincially appointed member yet, but we're hopeful that will happen soon. But we have met, to the best of my recollection, at least 3 times, and the one later this week will be the 4th. I don't have my file with me, but that's my recollection.
Thank you.
But I'm not arguing with any of the points that you raised, other than we are now meeting. I just wanted to address that.
Councillor Proud, I was struck by, I wrote down a couple of things here, that the population is being placed at risk, and that the priorities of the RCMP might well be in the wrong place. And I think when we get to the end, there might be a place to record those thoughts if people would wish to do so. Thank you. You got that, Sheriff? All right, number 7. Councillor Enslow, I am assuming that you are not discussing any aspect of this.
No, sir.
I can assume that or not?
Oh, sorry. I am not
Thank you.
discussing anything to do with this.
Thank you.
With a 10-foot pole.
Number 7. I just said that, didn't I? Where are we? Councillor Longmire.
Warden, could I just go back to 6 for a second?
Yes.
Thank you. Meetings are productive. I don't even know I don't know what the definition of productive is. Sorry. We have provincial appointed members missing. And it sounds like there's lots of issues. How do we know that those meetings are productive? Like, are there minutes kept that are made public to all of us so that we know that they're addressing the issues that are being raised to them?
We could ask our 2
Yes.
representatives.
The minutes are passed on to our records person, which is
Wanda?
Mrs., yes. I was trying to figure out her last name. Atwell. There you go. So she keeps the records and she has it on file. Yes. It can be provided at any time.
Okay.
And so you two concur that the meetings are productive? Thank you.
We've had police members present at all of them, not always two, but there's always one is sent, and questions are answered, and discussion goes back and forth. We haven't, how can I put this, well, it's not our place. I mean, if a question is asked, it's answered the best it can be at the time. I mean, names can't, well, do I know who did what? Tell me about this. But when we asked, for instance, about who is out, why isn't someone here, that sort of thing, we get an answer, yes. So I think in that response, they're productive. They're 2 hours in length. I don't think we've ever said, well, I guess we're not going to get any further with this. We'll leave early. But I would say they're productive.
So we
Within what you can, privacy acts and so on.
Right.
Oh, for sure. I know the sensitive content can't be shared. I'm just wondering, about the minutes. Like, can we have access to those and read them? I mean, can we attend these meetings?
All meetings are open to the public that we have
Open
from
to public?
council. Period.
Minutes of all committees are in my office.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks for raising that.
Over here, Gordon.
Councillor Gunn.
Thank you so much. We used to have a presentation from the RCMP every year. It was always at the Inglesville one. Is it Inglesville? Inglesville school. And I do remember times when they actually came here and gave us presentations here. We haven't had a presentation from the RCMP since before marijuana was legalized or decriminalized here in council. That's how long it's been. I don't know how long that is, but it's been a while. So we haven't had the RCMP or the staff sergeant come to talk to us since before that time. Because that was every time I'm always one to ask questions when we have these presenters. And I asked him a question. He answered it. And that was the last time I ever got the chance to ask the RCMP any questions. That's before the legalization of that. So it'd be nice to see them. Other than that, because we don't know what's going on with the RCMP and our police commission, because I can't even remember a report from our police.
Every year the RCMP gives us a report.
Well, now, sir, I would debate that because I haven't had one yet this year that I know of.
Well, we had it in
Thank you.
February. We had it in February.
We had one in
Yes.
February?
Their annual
Yes.
report is
Yes.
submitted every February to council, and you've received and approved it every year.
Every year.
This
We
year.
have, even this year. They came
Yes.
here and presented to us.
No.
You received an annual report from them.
And that was our report
Annual report, yes,
in paper form, wasn't it?
yes.
It was in our package or something.
Yes.
Well, I'll be going back to look for that. Thank you so much.
February, yeah.
Thank you.
It'll be on our website in your.
Well, I'll go back
Yeah.
and look in February.
We could certainly
I'll find it.
make note that we would like someone from the RCMP to come and explain the report as they used to. Thank you. Are we on 8?
I think so.
7.
We're on 7.
Just if I can just make a statement here.
Yes.
We do not have a board of police commissioners. We have a police advisory board, and there are different regulations around each of those.
Thank you. Number 8. Okay. Number 9. It would seem to me that if we are not party to any substantive discussions concerning the employment of and the cost of our CMP, that the chances of consulting us before they send someplace else are pretty small. But I guess what we might want is regular notification, maybe on a monthly basis or whatever, of the number of our CMP that are currently part of the Bridgetown detachment.
Monthly?
I guess I'm assuming that, for clarification, that the amount that we pay them, $3 million, it's all inclusive. It's one lump sum. And that's even when we don't have all the representatives in the county active. But on the other hand, it covers us for if there was a special circumstance like port paper somewhere where other resources had to be drugged in from outside of our limits, we wouldn't pay extra for that as well.
That's correct.
That's one bill.
All right, number 9. I talked about number 9. And the items we have listed the items we feel are important under the 4 categories there. So we're now on 14.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
If I may go back to some other support services and traffic services. A few months ago, we were having problems with fatalities, and our fire departments were handling the traffic control alongside the roads, which was brought. And since then, they've been using traffic control for such things. The traffic actually, they're hiring like McKinsey Traffic Control Services, so those kinds of people that handle that and not leaving it to our firefighters anymore. So I'm wondering now if, because of this, so this is telling me that maybe that the RCMP are taking care of the traffic services. It's not left for our fire departments to stand out there and look after traffic. The RCMP now will pull in traffic control. Is that what this is telling me here? Other support services, traffic services? That's not what that's telling me.
Well, I think there are 2 aspects to traffic services. One is the one you described, and the other are the people who roam and check for speeding and other infractions.
So that's what we're looking at, collision. Okay, in collision analysis. Okay.
Just if I may clarify, my understanding is if there's an accident, obviously the EHS or the RCMP respond. They deal with the emergency situation. Once that's done, they have no responsibility anymore. So the fire department gets called, they often get asked to look after help with traffic control. But at the end of the day, my understanding is TIR is responsible for the roadway, and so TIR is responsible for traffic control.
Until they neglect it.
Until the whole situation is cleared up, but the RCMP and the EHS and the fire departments deal with the emergency. Once the emergency is dealt with, and if there's extra cleanup, if it's closed for a while, all that stuff is all TIR's responsibility, not the RCMP, not the fire department or anything like that. So.
Must be good to remind you, TIR. Thank you.
Recognizing TIR has a very small staffing as well, and so
we give them lots of money as well. Thank you.
Councillor Longmire.
So I'm back at 13 as well. Community policing services. So just when it comes to Bridgetown having its own officer assigned to that area, is that still happening? Does anyone know?
Councillor Connell says no.
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 It became part of the problem.
Go ahead, Tom.
I think it became part of the county.
Yeah.
That's where we picked up the next one, I believe.
The member that had represented the town of Bridgetown prior to the dissolvement was amalgamated into the regular membership for the whole county. So that member is not just representing Bridgetown now, is responsible for the whole county.
Good job. Thanks.
All right. That's number 15.
Oh, yes.
Number 16. Number 17 is not for us. Number 18. And 19 follows on 18. I know it does in a numerical sense, but I'm in a substantive sense. Councillor Bishop.
I'm not sure how this fits in, but I have had constituent concerns on not ever seeing, their presence is not there. They had a concern on speeding, so I'm not sure when they're through and whether there's some report that we can have that says, yes, we will or we do travel certain communities on a regular basis, or, you know, if we could get verification on what their services are that we're receiving.
They will not tell you some of that. If we started at the beginning and we have the number 15, which is regularly the number 14 or the number 13, and you go 7 days a week, 3 shifts a day, and you live in that part and I live in that part, you can calculate how often there is an opportunity for you to see the RCMP driving by if you are standing on the road for 24 hours.
Some places you won't.
So, is there something you'd like to add?
We got 15 officers, we pay a fair amount per year for them, and residents expect to have them there. There was other questions about thefts and stuff in the area, and it kind of creeps on itself. If they're not present, if somebody doesn't think that they're in the area, they're going to be caught, they're more apt to be doing things they shouldn't be doing. So I'm not sure what kind of a blitz, or if there's any special programs they could implement that would let the public know that they're out there.
That question's been asked a couple of times, and they don't want you to know when they're out there, because if they tell you when they're out there, you're going to know when they're not out there.
I did not say that, oh yeah, 10 o'clock this morning, look out your window, you should see them. No, that's not my comment.
I remember having a conversation with someone from the headquarters who came to us a number of years ago and talking about the cars that are responsible for speeding up and down the valley. And they wouldn't say for love nor money when they were there or not there.
And they shouldn't. They should be around.
Okay. Councillor Sherry.
So regarding the speeding enforcement, I know in the past they were talking about tickets, and they weren't, and this was the other council when I was on it, and we had an issue then. I was just wondering if it's better now. Are they giving out more tickets as opposed to in the past? Because we had encouraged them to do so because we thought that would help slow things down. But I haven't heard anything in that area, so. Does the police advisory members know if there's more tickets being issued?
You would know, Cheryl.
I'm
just going to stand here and start. I could go back and look at some statistics
Yeah,
because we do see the number of tickets that are being issued on a regular basis. So I can go back and find that information from the last few years, maybe to kind of give some
kind of indicator if they are.
Of course, the numbers are going to be a little bit skewed because of COVID.
Of course.
We need to see what was really going on, I have a feeling. But at least we can do, say, even the last 2 years, and then we can monitor this year and implement that.
It's in my mind, just recently with the fire ban, and now that those tickets are being issued, more people are being more considerate with the fires. They're not doing it because they're getting these 20, and there's been some in the county here that have been issued those tickets, residents in our county. So what I'm getting at is, if the tickets are going out there and other people know it, chances are they're not going to do it as often. It's just a win-win if more tickets are issued, in my opinion.
Councillor Carl, Councillor Grote.
I had some concern from citizens that some of their cars are being stenciled at different graphics, kind of ghost flames scenario where the RCMP logo's on the car, but you can't really see it in some of their ghost cars. It's kind of a ghost print. And I had a couple constituents said, because of the Porta-Pet situation, well, if a car comes up behind me and puts his lights on and I don't know for sure it's an RCMP officer, I'm hauling over. So what's that going to create? I mean, do they do a high-speed chase? Do they force them off the road? You know, it could lead to different scenarios that could happen. And I realize that from being on the road a fair amount myself, I'm seeing more and more and more unidentified cars. And I understand their theory behind having cars that are not marked, because people don't think there's an RCMP driving behind you or you're going to pass him doing 120 kilometers an hour. But there seems to be more and more of that they're hiding behind unmarked cars of all sorts, right down to half-ton trucks, to Suburbans, ordinary SUVs. Like, it's unbelievable, like when I'm on the road, what I actually see an RCMP hauling people over with. And I, like I said, I know their tactics are probably meaningful, but some paranoid constituent may not think that.
Yes. Is that something that needs to be added on somewhere?
Well, I think that the wardens had suggested maybe at the end adding something on that, some of the things that maybe the police advisory board should be taken to the RCMP.
Okay,
great.
Thank you. Just looking ahead to number 20, when it talks about what do we have some of our force members doing, and it mentions in the first one, community program officer. Under that it talks about coming to neighborhood watch meetings, and I can say that we have a Wilmot and area community watch program in my riding, and it comes over into Councillor Connell's riding as well. And I try my best to attend those. I've only missed a couple in the last 3 years. And when that officer comes, he will often just give a brief report saying there were so many speeding tickets issued in that area, so many, maybe so many break-ins, so many calls, whatever. It doesn't go into the details, of course, but we'll say, you know, we did a couple healthy, what's it called, where you go check on someone because the term escapes me, welfare check, yes, thank you, to see how they're doing. So depending on what's available in different districts and towns, as far as, I don't believe neighborhood watches are in the number that they once were. And but that information is often provided, again, without going into specific details. least at the one that we have in the Wilmot area. So I just want to put that out there.
Thank you. Was it Councillor Gunn?
Thank you so much. You know, just to go back to Councillor Connell's point there, a few years ago I called the RCMP because there was an RCMP car in our neighborhood and it had the logos on it, but they were all painted over white. And this is shortly after Portapique, and I called up the RCMP. I said, what is this vehicle I see around here that's kind of painted over? It looks like its logo. Is this actually a real RCMP car? They said, yes, it is. We do that sometimes, right? We just paint over the logo. And I said, well, you know, I think that's a very poor decision on your part, because I believe, especially now, after that a lot of people wouldn't believe that that would be an RCMP car. And that was that. Back to Community Watch. A few years ago, we had a meeting in Three Rivers up there, and they were bringing up the fact, it was last council, that a lot of break-ins were happening. And I said to them, I said, well, don't you have Community Watch up here and signs up? And they almost laughed me out of the hall for making such a suggestion that, you know, oh, well, that would never work up here. I said, well, you know, a community is pretty strong watchdog. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you.
I'd have to say, if I can,
Please.
they have their own community watch. Trust me on that. Maybe it doesn't have a word, but they know what's going down the road
As
at
we
any
all do,
time.
yeah.
Right, so they have their very own,
A lot of them do.
not under scrutiny of the name.
All right, so Deputy Warden.
Thanks. You have hate crimes here as an additional service, but at the same time, back on 14,
14?
yeah, I understood investigate hate crimes there was something they were doing as well, or an additional service they've tied into, or a central service they've tied into?
I think we're concerned and want them to do it.
Something they have to work on. Okay.
So are we now on, we're on 20, I think. Yes, Councillor Hudson.
Perhaps this falls under 20, but it's just a question. I know the RCMP had auxiliary members. Have they abandoned that practice, or?
Yes, many years ago.
Many years ago? Okay.
Sorry, I missed that whole interaction there.
I just asked if the RCMP still had auxiliary members.
Oh, auxiliary, thank you.
Okay,
I don't know if you can, or CAO can put a date to that or a year, but it was quite a few years ago when an incident happened way in the north.
I'm not sure, a long time ago, it was
Yeah.
public safety, because
Yes.
the person's responding to emergency calls and isn't trained or isn't
Fully trained.
could be in the crosshairs of that situation, so it was a liability issue. They ended the program many years ago.
I don't think they went alone, though.
They didn't, but still, if you go with an officer and they have to apprehend somebody and they get involved to help or something, and they get hurt or injured or something happens, so.
Correct.
Councillor Sheridan.
I just want to put a positive spin on this, because I think it's great that the community program officer and the senior safety person, they're amazing.
Yes.
So,
Oh, yeah.
so
Yes.
just a
Can't beat
little
her.
positive with the negativity going on.
All right, number 22.
You jumped over 21.
No.
Try that number.
We were on it, and then someone went back to 14.
Okay.
All right, 21. 22. My understanding is that there is some elasticity in some RCMP organization where they can take a person and put in another place, but none of us know of it. All right, 23. That answers a question that was asked before.
Yes.
Sorry.
The only thing that I've seen over the years is that, again, it doesn't matter how many times we increase it by 1 or 2, we never have a full regiment.
That's right.
So sometimes it seems like it's why are we doing that? Why, we increase it, but we still never see the full artillery. It gets discouraging.
Yes. 24. '25, 26. And there are comments on 27. I mean, under that number. All right, 28. And here, Cheryl, under 29, is this where we could put our fears that the populations are being put at risk and that the priorities appear to be ill-placed?
So we have roughly 15 minutes.
Okay. No, they've asked us. Cumberland is, I think, a number of months ago, Cumberland said we want to examine something. And I understand that they've issued an RFP and I don't know if they've issued an RFP, but I don't know if they've engaged anybody yet. But apparently from the time of engagement of a firm, it'll be a year apparently before the Cumberland study will be out. All right, thank you.
1,200 citizens.
All right, councillor comments. District 1, please.
Thank you. Just one moment, I have them here somewhere.
All right.
Here we go. Thank you very much. I'd like to begin by thanking the many firefighters, both local and from other areas, who've worked so heroically over the past weeks fighting the numerous wildfires in Nova Scotia. We owe them, as well as all of the service groups and community volunteers who provided support services to them, a huge debt for the work that they did on our behalf. As promised, I do have an update on the Eastern Canadian Gymnastics Championships, which I mentioned briefly last month. I wish to thank Megan Armstrong, who was a parent volunteer chaperone on the trip, for the following update, which she kindly provided. The 38 members of Team Nova Scotia trampoline and tumbling athletes had an excellent trip to Sherbrooke, Quebec to compete in the championships. Day 1 was a long bus ride to Quebec, arriving in time to have supper and play outdoors before heading to the rooms for the night. Day 2 was a low-key day of hanging out at the university, again playing outside and then heading to the venue in order to train. Opening ceremonies were held at the end of day 2. Each province selected a flag bearer for the ceremonies, and Annapolis County athlete Riley Armstrong was chosen to represent Nova Scotia. Day 3 was competition day. All of the Team Nova Scotia athletes competed at some point during the day, with some placing well enough to move on to finals the next day. Team Nova Scotia earned 8 bronze medals during the team awards. Day 4 was the finals, and Team Nova Scotia earned 6 gold, 2 silver, and 3 bronze medals during finals. Day 5 was another early morning to eat breakfast and start the long bus ride home. All the athletes had a great trip. I say, well done. Since our last regular council meeting, I have been pleased to attend a number of functions within our county, along with Warden Morrison, Deputy Warden Redden, and Councillors Bartow and Gunn. I'm pleased to see many, if not most, of the farmers in our area have finished their first cut of hay already. In addition, it's great to see the arrival of fresh local strawberries at our local farm markets. So I say to everyone, enjoy. I had my first strawberry shortcake last night, so it was delicious. In District 1, the Melbourne Square United Baptist Church has set up a community pantry in the parking lot on Stronach Mountain Road in order to provide assistance to individuals and families who are dealing with food insecurity issues from time to time. The pantry has been up and running for the past 10 days, and pleased to say it's being used. So I think the new sign will say something to the effect of, leave what you can, take what you need, or the reverse of that. I'd like to congratulate all the graduates. Graduation will be coming up within the next 10 days. I'd also like to congratulate all the students that made it through, and teachers who made it through another year. and thank the parents for their work. Have a great summer. Finally, I want to mention that Melbourne Square will be celebrating Canada Day on Saturday, July 1st at the Community Hall, beginning with the Children's Parade starting at the Melbourne Square United Baptist Church parking lot at 11:15. They will parade from there to the Community Hall. And usually there's raising the flag, singing "O Canada," and will be followed by a barbecue and something that all the young at heart enjoy, a slope slide. We still do those. So thank you very much.
Greetings from District 2. The McDonald Museum last weekend held their annual antique car show and swap meet, which was very well attended. Also, the McDonald Museum will be hosting a Canada Day event on July 1st from 1 to 4. The Forest Glade Hall in Forest Glade, they have a washer tournament going on June 24th. I think that's this Saturday. And the games start at 2 o'clock. Our breakfasts are going well at the Margarettsville Fire Hall and the Port George Community Hall. The Margarettsville breakfast is always on the first Saturday of the month, and the first Sunday of the month is Port George. The Mount Hanley Museum, one-room schoolhouse museum, opens up the first weekend in July until the last weekend in September, or the long weekend in September, and it's open weekends only. So we have a few people into the museum every year, so it's nice to see all the community events starting to pick back up. Port George Jamboree, it will be going on. I'll give an update on that next month. And but it's nice to see that the communities, and most times all the community events, or a lot of them, are advertised in the Bridgetown Little Reader, and it's nice to see, like, all the way through our county, all the halls are active, so, thank you.
Thank you.
Are we going by numbers? Okay. Perfect, thank you. So just a few things. I wanted to also acknowledge the amount of support that was provided to the fires in Tantallon and the South Shore. I know that my family was affected by these fires, so I hold it quite dear to my heart, the amount of work that went in to that. Since the last council meeting, I've attended various events and functions throughout not only District 3, but throughout the county. And just a few of these would be the Lions Monthly Breakfast in Bridgetown, the Bridgetown School Spring Fling to raise money for the grads, and for the elementary school, as well as the tennis season opener in Bridgetown, and the regional track and field event hosted at the Sports Hub, which was phenomenal to see. I don't know how accurate, but I heard there was between 1,500 to 2,000 people, which I believe it. It was packed. So just a couple dates I really want to bring up is the 150th anniversary of the Bridgetown Fire Department. They're celebrating this the whole year of 2023, but their main function is going to be on the 29th of July. So save the date for that. There should be more information coming, as well as the Clarence Farmers Market opens on the 25th of June. And I just wanted to also talk about the Riverfest. I know that we provided some funding for that, but I just wanted to really hit home the importance of that function and what that group does for the Annapolis River as a whole. And the fact that it's nice to see, I don't want to say go back to normal, but it's nice that these events are coming back. There's people that are coming out of the house. There's people that you're seeing, kids again in the community. It's nice to see. So that will be happening on the 15th of July. And I also want to wish everyone a happy Canada Day. I know it's on a Saturday. Some people celebrate it, some people don't. But I look forward to visiting as many functions as possible throughout my district. I know that I have a bit of a conflict with fireworks in Bridgetown and Port Lawrence, so we'll see how I can be in two places at once. Maybe I can sit on the mountain and watch both at the same time, but we'll see how it goes. Thank you.
Greetings from District 4. Just a note, there will be a pancake breakfast June 24th at 8 a.m. $10 meals to support the Moshell Community Hall. Farm markets are up and operating. Enjoy the fresh produce on the land. Wildfire is under control thanks to the needed rains. And I'd like to also recognize all the efforts of the firefighting crews that got through the tiring activities, fighting forest fires, and in addition to all the local incident calls they had. Hoping for a better summer weather for gardens, other farm crops, looking forward to getting my own garden growing. We have a great summer and take advantage of all the recreational opportunities available in the county for both land and water sports. Remember, just a reminder, the opening of the Opponents Trail system is on Saturday, June 24th. Congrats again to all this year's grads, and I wish them well in their future endeavors. Thank you.
Good morning from District 5. First, I want to send a huge thank you to the county for allowing me the opportunity to attend FCM 2023 in Toronto in May. I do want to thank Brad personally, the Deputy Warden, for putting together a wonderful report on behalf of Diane and Mike and Brad's attendance. It certainly was an exciting time, connecting with amazing people, learned so much, and there's lots to get excited about. The month of June is National Indigenous History Month, and of course, June 21st, tomorrow, is National Indigenous Peoples Day. So I urge everyone to reflect. Bruce Hamilton, along with a wonderful group of citizens in my district on the North Mountain facing St. John, cleaned up the Litchfield beach. And it's always amazing. I'm always filled with so much gratitude when I see citizens out on the sides of the road picking up garbage, putting it in bags, reminding us of being better to our Mother Earth. Halls are out looking at their buildings and looking at putting grants together and renovations and such. Exciting days are ahead, as other councillors have mentioned, with graduations and prom celebrations and all of that happens this time of the year. I just wish all of our grads and students a safe celebration and to remember that the world is your oyster. Parker's Cove in my district has a private school called the Cove Academy, and they finished up their school year on June 1st, and I wish them much success over their exciting holiday, along with the additional students in our public system who will as well finish up later this month. There are camps happening all around my district as well. Farmers, and at the end of driveways, there will be markets and things to stop by and purchase what I consider to be absolute shop local. So that's exciting. I do want to put a shout out to our firefighters who worked so very hard and are continuing to work hard, and Mother Nature did serve us up some rain. I know it's going to be exciting times as Canada Day is upon us. I do ask that everyone be very mindful about fireworks. Not so sure it's what we want to be entertaining, but just be mindful. Cats for Keeps are doing amazing work. Lisa Sully at the helm of that, helping to rescue cats and as well rehabilitate and put them back out for adoption. So it's a great success. I'll leave it there, and thank you.
Thank you. District 6, in the halls that we have, the Deep Brook and Waldeck Lions Club Hall, the Community Center in Cornwallis Park, the Upper Clements Hall, and Clementsport Legion are all conducting activities now that were being conducted when COVID hit, and there is also an increase in activity. There's a meeting of the Cornwallis Park Community Association in mid-July, and as the councillor, I'm going to ask that association what its members would think if they were given some responsibility, or if they assumed responsibility with regard to the Fundy View Park that's being constructed. And if that is a successful request or suggestion, then I will come to Committee of the Whole with perhaps an expansion of that idea. Thank you.
Things that I wanted to speak about today have already been commented on, so that would be the response to the fires, the Riverfest, the very successful track meet at the sports hub here a few weeks ago. So I won't really add any more things to that. Other than that, I'll just maybe make one quick announcement, is that the Bridgetown Pool is tentatively planned to open by the 1st of July. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. District 8 report. Happy Indigenous History Month to all. Tomorrow is National Indigenous Peoples Day, and celebrations will be held at Mary McKedge Beach in Kejimkujik National Park between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. All are welcome to experience the many events, including drumming, the big canoe, petroglyphs, a longhouse, writers, youth videos, and much more. I am happy to report that Ravenhaven is open for the season as a day-use park, so it'll be staffed between 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. If you are interested in borrowing kayaks, stand-up paddle boards boats, or the Moby mat and floating chair, you are welcome to make reservations at 532-7320. There will be a market and yard sale at the Foresters Hall in Clementsville on June 24th, including delicious food, handmade items, and starter plants for those, like me, still getting their garden in. Bear River Legion will be hosting the Canada Day celebrations, including kids events, an open mic, a silent auction, and the fabulous ham and bean supper. Also upcoming in Bear River is the 130th Cherry Carnival on June 22nd, and there will be more information on that next month. Also from Bear River, I have had communications from concerned citizens about the ongoing issue regarding the lack of dependable water supply in the downtown area. And I'd like to report the concerns raised last by citizens. I'd like to report the concern raised by a citizen last month about the Victory Road conditions left by logging trucks. That's been remedied. They were out there and they graded it all. There's been a request from a concerned homeowner that the corner of Fed Road and Greenland Road requires lighting, as motorists find that junction dangerous at night. I have reported this to our engineer, and I will be looking for guidance and feedback from him. And I'd like to report one other thing. One of the happiest days of my life, and somebody just brought it up here, and I've just added this in. One of the happiest days of my life was when I was out in public a year ago, and one of the things I saw was an unmasked child's face. And I must tell you what a wonderful sight that was after those years of seeing a child's face unmasked in public. And I felt that I owed that child an apology for insisting that they keep their face masked over the last couple of years. Thank you.
District 9. I can't say enough thanks to the fire departments. I know it's already been said around, but I was personally affected. My son was in Hammonds Plains, and he was evacuated and stayed with us for over a week. Thank goodness his house was spared, but others that he knew was not. So many, many thanks to those departments. And following up with that, the 50-50 draw for the firefighters are weekly, and I think more people are supporting it now than they ever have. So just a friendly reminder to support local firefighters. And the Nicktow Fire Hall are beginning their bingos. They're struggling a little bit with people coming in to play. So I just want to let you know that it is every 2 weeks. It is again this Saturday, the 24th. The doors open at 6, ticket sales at 6:30, and the first game is at 7:15. Other things have been said around the table in regards to Canada Day celebrations, McDonald Museum. There is music there by Joker's Right. So that is all I've got, because everything else has been said. Thanks.
The Lordstown Volunteer Fire Department celebrated their 125th anniversary this past weekend. They had a new truck there, and as is tradition, they pushed it into the fire hall. The pushing is strictly ceremonial. But it's quite an interesting conversation I heard about that. They don't have any idea where their electricity came from in the hall, but it's been there for quite a while. And, there's a very nice book as well that was the history written by a local gentleman.
Dave Whitman?
Pardon?
Dave Whitman?
Yeah, nice. Writes seems to be pretty much everything. It's local history. Fantastic books. As I digress significantly. Lordstown Pool is having their swimming lesson registration tonight at the Lordstown Library from 6:30 to 8:30. There are a plethora of different levels you can get involved in there. And the Springfield District Volunteer Fire Department is hosting a pub night this Saturday, June 24th, from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. And they're serving nachos, chicken wings, and beverages. I assume that's the small dogs.
Small dog.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's
That was
the end of my bad jokes.
Oh
That was a
dear.
dad joke I've ever seen.
I don't even know if I can follow that. I'd like to say that I was present at the RCMP celebration that we had in Middleton for the Rotary Park, and I found it very interesting to see that in my stay there the afternoon, it was good to see the students from the Annapolis East going over and enjoying everything that was there. But there was a big lineup in one particular place, which it took us maybe a little bit too long or whatever it was. So I went and I investigated what was going on with the RCMP, and there he was. He was handcuffing all the children. The children had decided they loved being handcuffed. He said, I've never seen children, you just need one to get the ball rolling. So he said, I might get carpal tunnel. I've never done it so many times. So it was good. My grandson was there. I just happened to be there at the same time. And so he had a great time talking and looking around for the rescue, search and rescue, and the fire department. And it certainly brings me to the fire department saying that they give it their all. And there's no doubt they have a dedication beyond others, and that we respect them for what they do for us. So there's a lot of things that have been mentioned, and the other thing is we went to FCM, Deputy Warden and Lynn Ganser Longmire and I, and we met quite a few different people all over Canada, and their issues are all the same. And no use adding to what the issues are, we all know what they are. However, it just points out to the point that we have to definitely do something different. If we're going to get population, we need to do what we need to for them. The other thing that certainly has been brought to my attention, it's always been there, but I guess I put it on the back burner, was how women in politics are definitely, I don't want to use words, are targeted by racism, or in any case bullying, to the point of silliness about their wardrobe or their hairdo or whatever, to the point that it's certainly we lose a lot of women in the first year that they resign because they've taken enough through Facebook, any type of media. So that was discouraging, to say the least. So the worst part was the fact that when a fellow counselor tells you that they get chastised from the people that they sit across from their own counselors, that I don't even want to comment on, because there's nothing I can say that is worse than that. So I'm hoping, but I guess we've been hoping all along, that the social media certainly causes a great grief to not only fellow counselors, politicians, whatever, in general. And hopefully we can come to a consensus that we can use social media in a positive way. And if you have somebody or something you have to say that's of any purpose, maybe you could do it in a different way and not flat it all over. So now I'm going to the happy part. The happy part is graduations. There's nothing more that I find very invigorating is the month of June, where all these faces are going to go into the world and try another different path in their life, going to university, college, or taking a year off to make money or do decide whatever. It doesn't really matter what they're doing. They're going into another new path. So having said that, and I see popping up, and you see, if you look at them, you see all the grad signs that they have in front of the home of all the graduating students this year. I say to you, congratulations. Enjoy. Let the future bring everything you want to you. And have a great summer and be safe. Thank you.
Thank you. I guess we are close to lunchtime, so let's take a lunch break and as close to 1:15 as possible. Should be all right.
No camels for her.
Welcome back. I'd like a motion to go in camera, please.
Right here.
Deputy Warden, seconded by Councillor Gunn. Discussion?
Which section? 22(2)E, contract negotiation, and C, personnel.
Thank you. Further discussion? All in favor?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carried. Thank you very much. The meeting is adjourned.